Hey gang, Z-Man here. Originally I had a different episode planned this week, which was going to be Walthers EMD F7 diesels, because we just got done with the multiple unit operation video. But this package just came in, so we're going to be doing an unboxing video today. What's in the box is a brand new set of Walthers Pennsylvania Railroad Merchandise Service box cards. So let's go check it out. So the box is marked fragile. Let's see if the contents made it. Just don't know where to cut from. It's folded that way. There's the packing slip. Alright, this is pretty well packaged. And there it is, Walthers main line. And then it says, let's get that on the camera, limited edition cars available only. This set includes rebuilt X29 box cars for merchandise service. So let me clear this box out of the way and let's get it opened. Okay, I got two of these because I thought it would be good to make a full train out of two sets. So in the box it should be one caboose and 12 box cars for a total of 13 cars, and then with two sets it's going to be 26. And if we mix them up correctly, we'll have 24 box cars together with a caboose, making for 25, make a nice freight set. We're opening this up. Oh yeah, that looks good. Get that box out the way. So here it is. 12 box cars and a cabin car. They even use the right language because Pennsylvania Railroad call their cabooses cabin cars. Okay, let's get this box opened. So there are newly tooled XB29 rebuilt box cars, 12 unique road numbers per set, available first time in plastic, and an N6 wood cabin car with center cupola. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Now we got the cabin car over here. Alright, let's take a look at these box cars individually and check for details. So as we go into the details, we'll look at the cabin car. Let's get this opened up. There's tape on each side here. I'm going to keep the tape on one so it can fold in. And as you can see, go gently lift up here. The cabin car has these wheel protectors that need to be detached. And we'll put them back in the box. Setting the cabin car aside. And then we're going to open up this. There's no tape there. But each one of these cars is individually wrapped in plastic, which is really nice for protection. So I'll take out one and two box cars so we can get a better detailed look at these. Let's go over the box car first. So this is the Pennsylvania Railroad X29B box car. This is a modernization over the regular X29s. So this one has the correct 10'6" height. So 10'6". I'll get the metric right up. Here are separately applied grab irons, separately applied ladders. Other details that are separately applied are the brake and then the gangway for the brakeman. This also has the modernized roof, modernized end, and modernized door, which are prototypically correct. Let me turn this around and you can see we have very nice free-flowing RP25 wheels. These are all new Walthers Proto Max, to include an all-metal coupler right here. I don't have a coupler height gauge, but that doesn't seem to be a problem with these models. You seem to link up just fine, and these new Walthers Proto wheels really roll nicely. The livery is for Pennsylvania's brand of less than carload freight service that we'll talk about in a different section of the video. So they set this up to compete with New York Central's Pacemaker and then B&O's Time Saver service. So just going over the livery details, we have the correct Tuscan red, which is normal for Pennsylvania. And then we have a white and metallic silver striping along here, as well as a round keystone. And then we have our data in the correct places with capacities on this side. And then additional capacities such as height, weight, length over here, and production date, and what type of car it is, which is the X29B. So we don't normally look underneath our cars, but let's check this one out. Oh, that looks really good. So we have our Bettendorf trucks. These are plastic, but they are highly functional, especially with those metal wheels. Just a great way to run things nowadays. So the bottom of the box car is also in two different and separate colors. So you've got the Tuscan red for the end of the metal portion and the wooden floor. Looks like all of our brake lines are correct, as well as the air reservoir and the controls over here for the brake. And it's also in black, which makes it separate from the rest of the car. So a lot of other box cars just have all of the same color, which kind of looks lame. These really look good with the different colors. So there are 3 different sets of these merchandise service boxcar sets, each with different road numbers. Each set comes with 12 boxcars and a cabin car. So let's talk about the N6B cabin car. So the N6B cabin car is a Pennsylvania Railroad prototype. We're looking at the front end with the sloped cupola, and then the chimneys towards the rear. But everything is very nicely detailed. So let's go over that real quick. Just look at all the separately applied grab irons that we have. Just really, really well detailed. And then these grab irons over here, very nicely painted, really makes a nice, good contrast. And then when you look at the chimney, we have these stanchions over here that are supporting the cupola and the chimney. And then here is the end of train. It'd be nice if they put like a little red lamp over here just as a finishing detail. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the look of this cabin car. Okay, let's look underneath the cabin car. Oh, that's very nicely detailed. Again, we got these trucks are plastic, but they support the metal wheels. They're perfectly functional. You can really see the stairwell very nicely. The reservoir tanks and brake details are very nice as well. And then, this is all separate from the body, so it looks really sharp. And that is one good-looking cabin car. The N6B cabin car was built in the 19-teens, starting in 1913, and these served Pennsylvania up until the late 1960s. So these are going to fit in with late steam era, transition era, and then the early diesel era. So it's just really nice to have this included in the set. If you buy more of these sets, you'll just have additional cabin cars for your fleet. With the details complete, I'm just going to say these really roll well, and I can't wait to get them on the track. But first, let's go over a quick history of less than carload service, as well as Pennsylvania Railroad's merchandise service. From the beginnings of railroads to the 1940s, railroads dominated less than carload traffic. until trucking and later airplanes took away from this highly profitable freight revenue source. Rates were generally calculated per hundredweight, or fractions of 100 pounds or 45 kilograms. LCL would often generate more revenue than if the carload was completely filled by the customer. The trade-off for this potentially higher revenue was that handling less than carload goods was labor-intensive. The service required thousands of employees, from station agents, clerks, package handlers, dock workers, and drivers. Consider that every Class 1 railroad had its own LCL operation operating into the 1960s. In designing model railroads and planning model operations, we often focus on factories and industries that ship out entire carloads of products. However, until the 1960s, railroads handled a large amount of packages, crates, and other shipments that did not take up an entire boxcar. This is most commonly referred to as less than carload or LCL traffic, and is also known as merchandise, package, or break bulk service. Railroads carried everything from a single carton of cereal boxes that could be carried by a hand to a crate with a metal casting weighing 1,000 pounds or a collection of crates weighing several tons. This makes a huge modeling opportunity because there were around 10,000 freight houses in service in the 1950s, ranging from a small building in small cities to huge transfer stations plus more than 50,000 local combination depots that all handled less than carload shipments. With increasing competition from trucking and later air freight, railroads had to develop a competitive LCL service starting in the 1920s, but that competition became stiffer after World War II. My merchandise service car set by Walthers replicates that era, where railroads cleverly devised newer, faster freight service traveling at passenger speeds to compete with other modes of transportation. Among the best new services after World War II include Pennsylvania's Keystone Merchandise Service, New York Central's Pacemaker Service, and Missouri Pacific's Eagle Service, all sporting billboard sides with lively paint schemes. Along with the fancy paint schemes, these services featured a new and rebuilt equipment designed for express speeds, and railroads touted their expedited services through sleek advertising. Tied to this service was trucks for delivery and piggyback service for trucking, a way to make long-haul trucking easier on roadways. By the 1950s, LCL traffic declined precipitously, and the writing was on the wall that the interstate highway system and increased trucking capacity such as 40-foot trailers would spell the end of railroad less than carload freight service. Pennsylvania adopted a distinctive scheme for merchandise cars in 1946. Cars had a wide horizontal gray stripe with thin white borders and merchandise service lettering. The bulk of Penzie's cars were older X29 40-foot boxcars rebuilt with a 10-foot 6-inch interior and equipment upgrades for high speed. Penzie also had 160-foot X40B boxcars dedicated to this service, with a 7-foot sliding door and collapsible interior load retainers. One example train is LCL-1, a New York to Chicago run tailored for less than carload shipments that made the 900-mile trip in 32 hours. A sister train, LCL-3, ran from New York to St. Louis in 37 hours. These LCL trains were authorized to go beyond the 50-mile-per-hour freight speed limit of the Pennsylvania. Although this service was folded into the truck train in 1957, many of the cars carried on to the 1960s with their paint schemes. Okay, now that we're downstairs on the track, I have all 24 boxcars loaded up plus one cabin car. I have a L1S 282 Mikado ready to pull it. Are you ready to pull it? Alright, let's check out these cars. So here are my final thoughts on this Walthers merchandise service set. I really like them. They roll well. I haven't had a problem with any derailments. They just run smooth and they look great. Now, if you're a Pennsy modeler, I would suggest picking up a set. And even if you're not, you may want to add some to your collection. These are just good rolling stock. All right, see you next time, gang.